Hey everybody, how are you? So, Red Dirt Preacher, I know it has been a long time since I have done a live and connected with you guys. So, if you're around, do drop in. It'd be exciting to see you. So, happy Sunday to you. I hope you're enjoying that. I wanted to do what I do and come in and just talk to you guys. I've been absent, what was it, for like 2 months now, at least. I do recognize that there's been crickets on the porch. I have taken a spiritual sabbatical, and I didn't even know there was such a thing until God asked me to take a spiritual sabbatical. So I went really, they call that hermit mode. I kind of really went into myself, and I quieted down everything I was doing and really put my ear on the dirt because God was asking me to come into Him and to listen. So I have, and it's been months now, So He's definitely changed some trajectory in my life, and He's changed some ways that I was going about doing things. Not that I'm wrong, He just made it better. You know what I'm saying? You start out with a square, and then you end up with a wheel, and then you end up with a car. See, it got better. So, to further what we're doing here in the kingdom, and further, what I'm doing, Jesus has just taken sandpaper to me in the last 2 months. So, it's okay. It didn't hurt. It was fine grit. So, but I wanted to tell you some of the awesome things that have happened between Jesus and I in the last few months that we've been absent here on the porch. And I think as I do domestic chores today, as they come to me and I recollect them, I'll be sure to stop here on the porch and let you guys have those. All right? So I think the first little intimate story I want to tell you is, and that's what we do here. We're storytelling. I'm storytelling. That's what we do. It's spiritual storytelling. And I tell my stories. You guys are welcome to tell your stories too. But, okay. I was actually praying for a Judas in my life, And what I'm going to talk about real quick is how I inadvertently did something of spirit and didn't know that God was watching. I mean, come on, I know God's watching, but He wasn't in the living room. I was in the living room by myself. And I don't always just do stuff because I think God's watching and I want to get a gold sticker. That's not how I work. So I inadvertently did something in spirit and God caught me. Like when your parents catch you doing something good. So Jesus caught me doing something good and literally stopped in my living room and had a conversation with me about that. And then something miraculous happened. Something that happened between me and Jesus, me and my Lord. And that's the story I want to tell, okay? So, all right. So I was in my chair in my living room, I don't know, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I found myself naturally saying a prayer for someone in my past that has done me dirty. I mean, we all have those people, those betrayers, those backstabbers, those Judas priests. So, there's murderers, they don't really actually murder your physical body, but they murdered your emotional body, your spiritual body, your mental body, and they have no remorse. Those are murderers, okay? We've had those type of murderers in our lives. I'm not the only one. And if you're a murderer, then you're kind of automatically a Judas because that's a person that has betrayed you. So we have those in our past. We all do, whether they're lover, friends, or families. Betrayals usually come from somewhere really, really close. Otherwise, you don't care, and it's not a betrayal, right? So I was in a very pure space of love and empathy and understanding. I recognized just through my own, intuit abilities. I was understanding with empathy where this Judas murderer was in their headspace and in their life and why they did what they did, to which I understand. Okay? So, I understand it. So I went ahead and began to say a prayer for this person. A good prayer, not those prayers where it's like you hope they choke on ice water or you hope nothing ever, get them, Lord, praying to God to go get people. It was an honest prayer of love. That was I was getting ready to do. And as I took a breath to pray upon this Judas, Jesus literally just, showed up in my mind and He said, whoa. Excuse me, did I just catch you? Were you just getting ready to pray for a murderer? And I'm like in my chair like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do. And God asked me why. Why were you getting ready to pray for a Judas? I thought about it for a second. Love? Like, that's the only answer I have. Love. I love. It's like love them or whatever. I love your children too. I did it out of a place of love. I'm sending this prayer. Because we're all God's children, and nobody should miss the boat. So, God then saw that and then started to literally, and I'm not, I know, there's a little chagrin as I tell you this story, but Jesus really started to praise and be happy and tell me. It was almost like something in my living room went off and like the carnival showed up. It's like, and tell her what she's won, and that's not why I was praying for this Judas, so heaven could come down in my living room and be like, well, I'll tell you what you won, and confetti goes off and all that. That's not why I was praying for the Judas. I was praying for the Judas because it needed to be done. It was on my heart to do it. And so God caught me doing something to what he said was pure. And yeah, that humankind, we get it messed up, brother and sister. We like to go around telling each other we got to be perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm not perfect. Hey. But to Jesus, I'm pure. Because he caught me when nobody was around with no other intention but love. And I was praying for my enemy. So Jesus stood there in my living room, basically, and he was like, I can teach you so many things. I teach that in the Bible. Love thy enemies. Love your enemies. It's in there. He's like, but there's some things that I can't teach you. I can only show you. And you know this, Lainey, as a mother to a daughter, you can teach your daughter how to study well, how to shave her legs, how to hold a household. You can teach your daughter a lot of things. There's some things you can't teach her. You're just going to have to walk and show her, right? And so that's what Jesus was saying. He's like, the love thy enemy thing, that's not something I can just teach you. I show you. It's something, it's actually, you do it, And so God was telling me, hey, what you just did was pure. And that pleases me. And I'm like, what? Yay, I made Jesus happy. Whoa, I'm so excited about that. So I'm still in my living room, by the way. And Jesus, in my mind's eye, to me, it was almost like that, like heaven opened and there's like laurel wreaths, and you know what I mean? And God was, Jesus was then telling me, like, what is mine is yours and what's yours is mine. We're married now. And you're pure, befitting enough to be my wife. And that's awesome. And if you're new here, before you go judging me about, Jesus' wife thing, we together. You know what I'm saying? I talk a lot about how Jesus came to me and dated me and courted me, and our ups and downs, our highs and lows, and how Jesus and I fought back and forth, and we've wrestled for things before, but also how he's making me a Proverbs 31 woman, and that starts by being his wife before I'm any one of his son's wife here on 3D Earth. I need to learn to be a holy wife, and I do that with my Holy Father. So, I'm in love with the Lord, in case you didn't know. Anyway, I actually thought for like the last 7-8 years of my life that I was kind of married to the Lord. And because all about, that's the way I feel. Apparently I was wrong, because the other night in the living room, the Lord let me know that the act of praying for my enemies was an act pure as him, befitting, matching. Like frequency, it matches me. So now you can be my wife. And then it was like heaven opened up in my living room, and there's confetti and flowers, and I was actually feeling it. I got the spirituals, and I know when God's talking to me. I'm not confused about that. And so I got really excited. So I found myself jumping up and down in my living room in my pajamas and my socks. You know what I mean? And you're like, why is that? Because the Lord married me, So Jesus was pleased by the action that I had done when nobody was looking. And caveat, if Jesus was busy one day and I had to like watch over the heaven hut, if Jesus was busy one day and had to go be somewhere and he's like, Lainey, look after the heaven hut. That's great. What if these people are coming and I'm being good and I'm doing the right things, and then here comes that Judas person that did me wrong back in the day, and they come and they ask for stuff. Well, since Jesus is out, he's out for the day and I'm here and you did me wrong, I'm not going to be like the Lord. I'm going to treat you different. And that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I hope that makes sense, but it didn't happen. And Jesus was telling me, hey, if I had to leave you to the kingdom for a second, I can see that the purity, it's you treat everybody the way that I would treat them, he said. So it's a lesson that he shows us, and we have to do it ourselves. Jesus is just going to hope that we do it. We raise our kids, and we hope that our kids will do certain things in their lives, but we can't teach them to do character values. We could try. Kids all turn out how they want. So we can teach people certain things, but then it comes down to the character of them. And then you just gotta hope and pray that it all took, and then they end up making good character decisions. And I feel like that's what Jesus was like with me in the living room the other night. He could teach you, he could train you, he could take you to the water, he could be the water, and he could take you through holy classrooms, and he could take you on this conscious journey all day long. But there are parts of it where you've got to do the work, and he's just hoping that he's over there rooting for you, that your content and character shows up when it's supposed to. So anyway, with that being said, it was actually a very intimate thing that happened to me, and I was excited about it for at least a week, spiritually speaking. And also, inadvertently, that same day, I was online and I ran across a meme that said, "Don't pray for your enemies, pray for karma." And I thought, wow, that's going around and people are really believing that. And here's what God had to say to that, given the story I just told you. God said, see, there's a meme right there where it says, "Don't pray for the people that have done you wrong, pray for karma." And I thought, well, karma's medicine. And people make their own medicine. I make my own medicine, you make your own medicine. So karma's medicine, and we make our own medicine. So why do you have to pray for karma? You know? Wouldn't you rather pray for the person? See, that's what matters. And that's what I did in my chair in the living room. I was praying for the person. I wasn't praying for the medicine. The medicine's going to be there. They're making the medicine. God's the alchemist and physician. That's going to happen regardless. I don't set Tylenol bottles on the table and then pray that I pray to the Tylenol that the Tylenol works. No. You pray for the person that's sick. See? You don't pray for the medicine. It made no sense to me. And secondarily, Jesus allowed me to know, he said, if those people are taking that other advice that says, don't pray for the person, pray for karma. Don't pray for the people that done you wrong. Well, maybe so. But I tell you what they're missing out on. They don't know that by praying for your enemy, look what happened to me in my living room. I prayed for my enemy, and all of a sudden Jesus popped out like a jack in a box and married me in my living room. Okay, that happened. And my life is more blessed and fortunate for it. So, you don't know what you're missing. You know, those other people that are praying for karma, fine. They're going to wake up, nothing's going to happen. They're not going to get married in their living room. They're not going to know they missed anything. They're not going to know that they missed any providence of the Lord. So I learned a great lesson just by having that experience happen to me, and then reading this other thing. I saw there were two complete opposites. Look what happens when you do it. You get providence from God. And look what happens when you don't do things of integrity. Don't pray for your enemies. You don't know you're missing nothing. You just go on in your life like da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. You don't know how much providence you're missing. So I hope that was, I hope y'all caught that fly ball I just threw. It has been too much since I've talked to you guys, so I'm a little bit off-kiltered. I will find my feet yet once again. But stay tuned, and it's great to see all of you guys. Have a great one.